Good morning. I woke up a little bit earlier than I usually do. I don't know why. It may have been something to do with my fluffy little alarm clock that jumped onto the bed with his toy to say good morning. But anyway, welcome back. Welcome to a brand new video, and most importantly, happy March. I hope you're all doing very well, and I feel like we're kind of at the point now where we can really talk about spring. I'm applying all of the usual bits and bobs this morning. So my Lumiere cleanser, I use that once in the morning. My serums, I like to kind of mix two. So the first one is the usual IntelliBright serum, which is just a really nice brightening face serum, and then I also like to mix it with a couple of drops of my LMS superfood facial oil, and I flipping love this. It gives you such a nice glow. We have got some serious frost going on. I'll show you out the window, but it's a seriously frosty morning, which I was not expecting at all. James said to me last night, make sure you put the covers back over your olive trees, and I was like, what? It's so warm, what are you talking about? And then I went onto my weather app, and indeed at 2 o'clock this morning it was 0 degrees, and then it kind of got to -1, -2, and then I think it's going back up again. So yeah, the winter frost is not done with us yet. I think I'm going to keep them covered for a couple of days until it does start to warm up again. And I just have to hope that my spring bulbs that have really started to come up now haven't been damaged or killed by the frost. Fingers crossed. Look at this frost. Looks like James has left a drying bath mat on the line, so I think that may have a little bit more drying to do now. Look at the paddock behind the house as well, completely frosted up. Goodness me. I can see a little bit of sun peeking through though, so maybe it will brighten up today. We seem to be experiencing every single season in one day at the moment. It's been a little bit crazy, so we shall see what today brings. I am popping a very, very light layer, oh my powder's running out, of just a bit of base makeup on today because I feel like I need a bit of a freshen up. My hair is looking like an absolute state because I have not done that yet, but we are just about to head out for, it appears to be a very frosty walk. Ronnie needs it and so do I, to be honest. This is how the powder situation's looking. I'm kind of thinking, do I get another Charlotte Tilbury? This is the airbrush flawless finish powder. Hopefully that focuses, and I do absolutely love it. Like, it genuinely does airbrush you and it just softens everything, and it's so good if you're just having a oh gosh, that means James is hoovering because that is the only thing that Ronnie barks at. But yeah, I'm thinking, do I buy another one of these because it genuinely is, it just softens everything if you don't really feel like having a makeup day, which is basically me today. I'm just doing like the absolute minimum possible. Or do I try and find something just as good for a cheaper price, because it is not cheap. That is some very, very speedy makeup done. I have literally just used my absolute go-to Revolution concealer just on some blemishes and under my eyes, and then the Charlotte Tilbury powder, which I showed you, with just I think this is a Real Techniques brush, which I do actually need to clean, mental note. And then I've just gone over my brows with the Benefit Gimme Brow. And the only other thing I've used is my absolute favourite at the moment, Sky High mascara. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. Oh gosh. Isn't the best thing ever sneezing after you've just put wet mascara on? That has really made my eyes water. Anywho, let's give my hair a quick brush. Oh my goodness me, it's a bit wild this morning. And then I think I'm just going to keep it up today because I want it out of my face. I don't know entirely what I'm going to get up to today, but I'm just in one of those moods. I don't want my hair in my face. I think I may, a little bit later today, take a quick trip to the Range and B&M because I do want to start thinking about getting some nice artwork for a few spaces in the house, especially in the hallway. And I also want to look at the mirrors because there's a space right by the front door which I'd quite like to have a mirror as well. At the moment we've got quite a small piece of artwork. And then I think also I want to have a look at their frames, which I think I already just said. And then B&M, I just want to have a little bit of a mooch around, to be honest, and see what's new, because I don't feel like I've been in there for a while and sort of showed you what's around. It is Saturday morning, so how much I'll be able to film, I don't know. But I will try my very best. Anyway, I'm going to quickly waffle some toast down, I think, and then we shall head out for a walk. I'm hoping I don't get too hot in this because it is quite a thin jumper, but equally I do get quite toasty. So maybe I'll wear a slightly lighter coat than usual. But anyway, yes, let's head out. Are we ready? Are we ready? This one's just munched down his breakfast. I thought whilst we're just waiting for James to come downstairs, I thought I would give you a bit of an update on how the living room is looking. Obviously I did show you it finished at the end of last week's video, but it's always nice to see it in daylight, isn't it? So excuse the messy sofa, but this is how it's looking and I could not be more pleased. The quality of it is just fabulous. I love the dado, I love the moulding that we went for. Sounds like James is ready to go. But yeah, just it's nice to see it in daylight, isn't it? And I'm really happy still with the wall colour. I think it's Dulux Natural Hessian and it's gorgeous. We did try Egyptian cotton in here, which I know is a really popular Dulux colour, which is kind of a nice neutral, but it just looked too grey and we needed something a bit warmer. So Natural Hessian is a good option if Egyptian cotton is looking a little bit grey or a little bit cold in your room. Quick update on the front lawn. Look how gorgeous it's looking. I can't raise it too high because we have got our house name and number printed next to the front door, which for obvious reasons I'm not going to show you. But yeah, the pathway is looking absolutely fabulous. I'm really pleased with it. It's obviously got a bit dirty just because we've put some, I think, topsoil and some seeds onto the lawn. But I really love these planters. They're such a fab size and perfect to cover up any drain covers that you want to cover up. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to the front garden coming back out into flower as well. I've got my jasmine trailing up here, which has grown quite a bit actually since I got it last summer, and I think I will probably get some annuals to just fill some of the gaps in this flower bed because it is a much bigger flower bed than I thought it was. I definitely chose the right coat to wear. I'm not going to talk for too long because I will end up falling on my bottom in the mud. But I definitely chose the right coat to wear. It may be a little sunny, but it's about 0 or 1 degrees. So it's chilly, but I definitely needed this walk. Anyway, it's so lovely to just get a bit of fresh air in the morning and quite like cold, crispy air as well. It's actually one of my favourite times of the year for a morning walk. Hurrying along this part a little bit because there is some shooting going on in the distance and Ronnie is not the biggest fan because it does remind him a little bit of the fireworks. So, hello Mr. Crow, good morning to you too. We're back. I don't know if I'm looking a little bit rosy in the cheeks, but the way kind of back up to our house, the road that you walk up to get into our small little road is actually uphill. So the last part of the walk does warm you up and wear you out a little bit. We took our wellies off at the edge of the pathway because I think because James put so much care into laying the slabs for the pathway. Sorry, the fridge has just started making a funny noise. He like doesn't want the pathway to get dirty now. And I was like, well, it is a pathway, we do have to walk down it, but I do understand if you have really muddy wellies, then let's maybe not walk down the freshly laid ivory slabs. But anyway, I'm going to get myself a drink and take my vitamins, which I've got in my, you might have seen this a few times actually. I'm kind of in between vitamins. So the ones that I am taking at the moment is vitamin C and zinc in this tablet, and then vitamin D in this tablet, but I'm about to run out, so I've swapped back over to one big tablet, which basically looks like a kidney bean, which is the Well Woman tablets. So I shall make a drink for that. I'm kind of trying to, I'm not going on like a crazy health kick, but I'm just trying to do a little bit more research into what is better for your body, because as much as I appreciate, you know, I don't need to lose weight and I don't need to have like a crazy health kick, as I said, I do want to just get a bit more of a varied diet and try. Ronnie's just had a shower and I can hear him wriggling around upstairs. Hello? Hello? Hello, Fluffy. Hello, Fluffy. Have you just had a shower? Have you just had a shower? Are you nice and clean now? Look at this fluffy bottom. You're still a bit wet, so I'm going to have to make sure all of the sofas are covered. Look at this fluffy monster. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm trying to get a little bit more variety in my diet and make sure that I have sufficient amounts of nutritious ingredients in my diet, and try and eat more whole foods and try and eat a bit less processed food, and also increase my intake of greens as well. One thing I'm trying to get into, which I've always wanted to get into but I've always failed, is yogurt, because yogurt is one of the best things that you can eat. It's got lots and lots of goodness in, again depending on the yogurt that you go for, and I've always struggled with yogurt. I don't know what it is. I think it's the texture, I think it's maybe the lack of flavour in ones that I've tried before. I've just always struggled with it, so I'm trying to sort of ease myself into it. So we did get a couple of tubs of Greek yogurt, which I'm going to have now. See, I'm getting the smell and half of my brain is like, yummy, and half of my brain is like, ugh, yogurt. So yeah, I'm trying to combat that. And then he also did get to have with it, James got a nice big bag of granola to go with the yogurt as well. So this is honey and almond. I'm getting into the yogurt, I'm putting in the honey and almond granola, and then I'm just putting in either some shavings of chocolate or some little chocolate chips, just so that I have a familiar taste when I'm eating it, as opposed to something that I have literally never eaten before, or not eaten for years and years, and trying to get my head around it. So I'm trying to kind of ease myself into it. So I'm going to make a little bowl of Greek yogurt, natural Greek yogurt, honey and almond granola, a few chocolate chips, and that should go down a treat. This little furry piglet is absolutely obsessed with tea. Where the tea goes, he goes. And he always wants to be Mummy's best friend when she has a cup of tea in her hand. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling a little bit bedraggled today. I'm kind of gutted actually, but I've just dropped Ronnie back home / back to my dad's house. I could tell he was just feeling a little bit anxious today anyway, and we're actually repacking paneling our study because we just weren't happy with the way that we did it the first time. We've learnt a hell of a lot since then in terms of the tools to use, the materials to use, the adhesive to use, and James is basically redoing it and it already looks so much better. But in order to do it, and this is basically the only weekend that he has to do it because he is about to start his new job and everything's just going to be a bit crazy, so I get it. He is having to use a nail gun to basically nail every individual bit of moulding to the wall, and there's a lot of stuff to put onto the wall. So I can understand it, but the nail gun was not working for Ronnie. I tried to move him from room to room. I shut all the doors. I tried to distract him. I turned up the TV. He was just not having it at all. He was just getting really, what's the word? He was just getting really upset by it, basically. I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to take him back because we were going to drop him home on Tuesday when we were heading back down to my dad's direction anyway, but I thought I'm just going to do it now. It's a bit of a shame because I absolutely love having him there, and I was so upset at having to take him back. I got a bit teary in the car, but to be honest, I think it's just because I'm a bit hormonal and it's like a week before my period and this always happens to me and it doesn't take much to set me off. So I just had a bit of a moment whilst I was driving, composed myself and now I'm feeling okay again. I've just parked up right next to, well, I'm right in between the Range and B&M actually. I'm not sure how busy it's going to be. There are quite a few cars around. So I'll try and show you as much as I can that I spot in here, but if not, then I'll show you when I get back. I don't know if I'm going to pick anything up. I've literally just got my phone, so pray for me that Apple Pay is working if I do pick something up. But yeah, let's head in. Lots of questions about this. I have one of these which I use in lots of arrangements and you can spread it really wide as well. It's a fab price. And we're home. I didn't get to film anything in B&M because I spent about 30 seconds or maybe about 45 seconds in B&M. Gosh, it's really cold in here. It's really sunny outside. I don't know how well you can see the sunshine, but in here, it's chilly. It's chilly. I am just feeling a little bit more overwhelmed / maybe a little bit anxious at the moment, just because it just happens to me at this time of the month, and I know that it always does. I walked into B&M and it was so busy and it was so just, gosh, it was like a sensory overload almost. There was just so many people everywhere. There was like music, there was people on the speakers. Physically it was just such a budge to get everywhere, and it's obviously when you walk in there's like visually like there's just so much stuff. So I literally turned around and I was like, no, I can't do this. I'll just come back another day. It was just too much. I got a bit overwhelmed. So anyway, there were some lovely bits in the Range. I didn't buy anything, but I did find a couple of really nice frames, which I did take clips of. Now, because I didn't go into B&M, I thought, you know what, TK Maxx is on the way home. And I have to say, my TK Maxx, it's incredible for homeware. Like, I don't think, since we moved in last June, I don't think I've actually been in there and I've not bought something. And the TK Maxx where I used to live was so rubbish. I used to never find anything. And I used to wish that there was a HomeSense nearby, but now I don't even feel like I need a HomeSense. It's so good, and I always find things that I love. So I did get a few bits, and I thought I'd show you. First things first, I thought this was really interesting, and I picked it up, put it down, picked it up, put it down, couldn't quite decide. Maybe I'll take it back if it doesn't quite work in the way that I want it to work. But it was this really lovely ceramic hook, and they had it in a sort of off-white creamy colour, and then they also had it in this sage green, and I just thought it was so beautiful. I love the brass kind of hardware on it. I love the hook, and I thought that this could look really lovely in our bedroom upstairs against the elephant's breath paint colour that we've got on the wall. And I think it would be perfect because every night James puts his dressing gown on, goes up to bed, and then just before he gets into bed, he like rips his dressing gown off, gets under the covers, and just like throws his dressing gown down the stairs, so that when he eventually goes back down in the morning, or if I'm still down here, it gets picked up from the bottom of the stairs and hung in the bathroom, which is on the middle floor. So I thought maybe this would be quite good, so that he could just hang his dressing gown up in the bedroom rather than having to throw it down the stairs every day. So I have kind of a mental idea of where this can go in my head. I'll show you upstairs. You may also be able to spot this behind me, this gorgeous shade of olive green. I've been eyeing up this lampshade for ages and ages, literally since it came out. And the reason that I haven't bought it, need to get that thread off. The reason I haven't bought it is because I just didn't know what to do with it. And this time I was like, okay, it's reduced to £10, so it's £3 off. I thought I'm just gonna get it because A, I really want to show you guys, and B, the only one place I think I could possibly make it work, actually two, would it work in here? The one place I was thinking could have potential is this corner here, but I don't know whether this green is going to clash with this green, so I'm not too sure. The other lampshade or lamp base that I thought it could work quite nicely with, now if you've been around for a few months, you might remember when I bought this, because I bought this ages ago and I still have not put a lampshade on it. But this was my £7 charity find, and I thought maybe, oh, it's quite big, so I'm going to need some sort of stopper on there. But I thought maybe, oh, maybe I could make this work. But I thought if I can't get this to work, then maybe I could just French chic this and make it like a rustic wood colour, because I think that would look fab. So yeah, lampshade, base. I think the shade is the perfect size for the base. It's a 30cm shade. I mean, I wonder whether this could look quite nice behind me. I wonder if this would look quite nice up on here if I French chic this base. That could be really beautiful actually. So there's two other things that I spotted, and I was really like rifling through piles. You should have seen me. The reason I didn't film anything in TK Maxx is because I did not have any hands. I was literally struggling the whole way round. I was basically on my knees on the floor, pulling photo frames out, mirrors, just like spreading it all around me. I think everyone must have thought either A, how annoying, I can't get down the aisle, or B, who does she think she is? But the things we have to do for TK Maxx art, if you know, you know. So the two things I found, I actually got these for the frames because I loved the frames and I thought they were beautiful. The first piece, and don't get me wrong, it is a gorgeous piece of art, but personally it's just not my style. But I got this gorgeous landscape. I guess you could maybe have it portrait, but I think it is supposed to be landscape looking at the hooks on the back. Frame slash piece of art. The reason I love this isn't just because of the frame itself, but also because you get this gorgeous linen mount inside, which I think will look absolutely beautiful with either a still life piece in here or like a beautiful landscape countryside piece. I think that will look stunning. Where's this gonna go, you ask? That is the ultimate question. Maybe the hallway? So bad, I know, I shouldn't have bought it, but I just loved it too much. The other one I spotted is just a frame. I thought it was in the clearance section, but it wasn't on sale. But it is a square frame with a great big mount inside it. Now I'm thinking I'll try some artwork in here, but I may well change the mount as well to something with a bit more of a creamy colour as opposed to bold white, because I think with the wrong piece of artwork it could kind of really clash with the frame. But I think this is such a lovely frame, not just for a piece of artwork, but also if I wanted to put a really sentimental photo in here as well. I think for somewhere in the hallways or kind of along down the stairs or even by the front door. Here's the frame up close. It's really dainty, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. And this was $14.99, which I think, yeah, they were both $14.99, which I didn't think was too bad. Okay, let's have a look. It is a little bit messy in here at the moment, with various things, which I'm just going to pop down here out of the way. But I'm wondering whether I take this one down, which I love and I will absolutely find a place for, maybe on the media unit because it's one of my favourite things ever. But maybe I go for a slightly more rustic look in here, and maybe I pop this up there instead. I do think it would work, but I would have to do a bit of shifting around of decor, because I think as gorgeous as it is, it doesn't really match any of this kind of country stuff going on, does it? That's the part that I'm not 100% sure about. So this was the space I was thinking to put the hook. Again, I can't quite decide, I'm really torn. But I actually think maybe I prefer it on the wardrobe as opposed to the wall. I'm being really indecisive today, this is my problem. The blossom stems that I showed you last week, I finally managed to find a vase that they worked really nicely in. I managed to make it work beautifully in the, I think it's called the Ava vase. It's from the range, it's still available, I still see it in the store all the time and on the website, and it's £10. So literally a bargain. And I thought the stems worked really nicely in there. So I'm quite liking this area now. I think it's a really nice pop of colour for summer, whilst also being kind of vintagey, kind of muted. And I've decided I'm definitely going to do something with these, with this chest of drawers, because as much as I love them and I really like them with the handles, I just don't think the white is doing it for me. So I'm either going to paint them or I'm going to French chic them. I'm thinking maybe, as I've already got the French chic, maybe I will just give it a try. I'll maybe do like the back. Is the back still white? Yeah, the back is still white. So maybe I'll just try it on the back, see how it looks, because I will paint it in the creme de la creme before I do the browning wax, and see what I think. But I think it could look really gorgeous, and I think it will just tone down all of the harsh white that you've got on this wall and just make it look even more rustic and kind of tie it in with the other side of the bedroom. Another project that needs to be done at some point. A parcel has just arrived at the door and I was not expecting it until Monday. So this is incredibly exciting. I found an item in the M&S sale, literally I think it was 2 days ago, and I wanted to try it in the living room. I'm going to try and show you my idea and you'll have to let me know what you think, but this is so exciting. Let me get this open and show you what's inside. Okay, I'm going to temporarily pop it down on here whilst I figure out my way in. It should be nice and easy. I really hope this looks as nice as I've planned it. It was such a good price. When I did show James, he was unsure. I have to kind of show him like a photo of it that I've edited onto something, or just wait till the end result for him to see, because he just doesn't fully see it, which is okay. Now let me put this down on there. Now it's two of the same thing, and it was a very spontaneous decision, I will say. And whilst I'm opening this, I will explain to you what it is. So I don't know if it's still going to be live at the point that this video goes up, but Marks and Spencer's quite often actually have sales on their lighting, and I absolutely love their lighting. Now, I've always wanted to have wall lights, and I've sort of, I say come up with an idea. I did take a bit of inspiration from some people I've seen do it online as well, but I have a bit of an idea as to how I can almost put some fake wall lights onto the panelling on the wall here. So this is the light fitting slash bracket which goes against the wall. How stunning is this? I just don't want it to stick out too much. So that is the first part. Then I believe these two parts fit inside each other like so. I'm just gonna have to temporarily do it for the moment. So this is the wall light. What do we think? Now, I was hoping that it would look really beautiful over here on the wall. Let me just turn you round and I will show you my vision. I feel like I'm doing a lot of showing you my visions today and asking for your opinions. But basically, I'm thinking of having the two lights here. I think that will look absolutely beautiful on the wall here. And what I'm planning on doing is actually not putting the cable into the back, because I don't want to have to feed a cable through the wall. And what I'll actually do is get a rechargeable bulb, or like a battery powered bulb, that fits the light, and just make a fake one. And you're not even going to guess how much I paid for these. I paid £24 each for these, which honestly to me is a bargain. I don't know about you guys, but I think £24 for a light as beautiful as this, which has got so much glass to it as well, and is the most gorgeous brassy colour, I just think is gorgeous. So fingers crossed that will look nice. I'll have to see what James thinks, and I might just need to get him to hold them up for me. But I'm really, really happy with these. I'm not going to open the other one just yet. I'm going to see if I can get this tightened so that it's not wiggling around. But yeah, I didn't think I was going to be able to show you those until next week, so that's very exciting. Now, whilst I'm down in the kitchen, I thought we could have a go at this. I believe it's very simple. It basically consists of some pine cones, some bird feed, and some wire. Now, this little kit was basically sent from Bamboo, who are a brand that I've worked with a couple of times before. I'm just trying to pull up the email that then tells you. It's basically a zero waste bird feeder, which I think sounds really cool, and we get so many birds in our garden. So I thought I would, without throwing the pine cones everywhere, I thought I would take part in this. Now, they have sent me some instructions, so I thought we could do it together. You will need bird mix, wire, pine cones, wire cutters. Hopefully these cutters are going to work. Wind a length of wire around the scales at the base of your pine cone. Be sure to leave enough wire at the top to attach to a tree branch or a hook. Press the mixture firmly between the scales. Hang the feeder from a branch. Okay, so basically they will look like this by the end of it. Hopefully it's not going to be super messy. I am going to take my ring off just in case. So it's supposed to kind of go under the initial layer of little pieces of pine cone. So let me wrap him under there. If I try and wrap it round about here, and then twist the wire to make a teeny little knot. Oh, how cute. So what I now need to do is get into this bird feed. So I think I'm going to make such a mess of this. I think all you're supposed to do with your hands is just press it. I feel like I'm making little cakes for the birds in the garden. Okay, so that's the first one. That's the first one absolutely covered on here. So I'm going to pop that on the wrapper so that I don't make any more of a mess. And I'm going to get the other two done. Okay, all three feeders are now done. If I try to pick these up and show you without making a mess. Look at these. They look fabulous. I love them. Okay, I did have to get a little bit creative. So one of them is actually hanging on at the end of our washing line. And then for the time being, I'm just going to keep an eye on these and make sure they don't fall off. But I've hung the other two. I had to put one on each side just to kind of keep it balanced. And as you can see, they've been thoroughly enjoying the feed that's in this tube. So hopefully there are loads and loads of loads. You can see some of them. There's so many little birds in this tree, you would not believe. So hopefully they can smell the goodies and they will come down and have a little feed.